what can organizations do, like top three things they can do to establish better trust in data?
The way I would think about this is imagine the control room in a nuclear plant. They don't wait to see if a core meltdown is happening to declare that we are operating successfully, because that's too late at that point.
Mm-hmm.
They are monitoring the pressure, the temperature, and the radiation levels in every pipeline throughout the day, every second. If you control that, you will not have a meltdown in the end. Unfortunately, right now, because the processes have traditionally been very laborious, companies are doing the equivalent of looking for a core meltdown. And what happens is in the end, you end up paying large fines to people, or you send out an apology letter to your customers saying, I'm very sorry, I overcharged you, or whatever else it is, right? So that's the equivalent of a core meltdown. The consequences of that are too high. So the very first thing that any company must do is they have to start monitoring underlying processes or pipelines. Success in the results comes from success in the underlying process. The results are a lag indicator. Monitoring the process is the lead indicator. So a successful, a data governance program is one where, the amount of dark data in your company is reduced. So currently, 90% of every company's data is dark data. Dark data is basically unmonitored, unvalidated data, and it is at risk. And the impact is quite pervasive. Dark data is consumed by so many groups in so many different ways that people make bad decisions and they don't even realize it. So step number one is deploy trust monitors everywhere in the pipeline. Get the dark data to less than 20%. So that's the mechanical part, right? And the second important thing is a cultural change. What we have seen is that still think very traditionally. They are still thinking it's laborious, therefore I don't want to do it. Therefore, the less I do, the less work for me. So that's step number two. Step number one is establish the monitors. Step number two is culturally people have to start asking for data trustability. And step number three is to pay attention to what the data is saying to you. Often the errors in data could be a result of inherently the market itself changing, transactions are changing, people are changing, the behaviors are changing, and therefore your data is dynamic and changing. Or it could be an error within your data pipeline. So either way, you as a company have to be aware of what is causing the change. So those would be the top three things I would say. Establish monitors, trust monitors throughout your pipeline, have a cultural, change the culture of the organizations to be more data centric, paying attention to the trustability of data. And of course, start tracking it and paying attention to it. So you truly know when the data has changed or when there is an error in data.